Good morning, Queens, and happy Sunday. I wanted to get on real quick to give you or share with you a thought that I had, and that thought came from a couple of verses that I read this morning, and those verses were in Hebrews chapter 10, verses 35 through 36. And they read, "So do not throw away this confident trust in the Lord. Remember the great reward it brings you. Patient endurance is what you need now, so that you will continue to do God's will. Then you will receive all, all that he has promised." And the thought that I had from these verses was that sometimes God has given us a word, me specifically, he'll give me a word, and I'll begin to move in the direction that he's told me to go. But then I start meeting opposition, I start encountering obstacles, and it gets hard. And so once it gets hard, I want to give up, or I begin to think, well, maybe he didn't give this word to me. Maybe that was just my thinking and I didn't hear from him. And then from there, wherever our thoughts go, that's where we tend to go. So then we want to sit down and say, okay, let me rethink this thing. Maybe there's a different way that I can do this without doing it the way that I thought I heard God tell me to do. And that's always a mistake. Ladies, let me tell you, it's always a mistake, because if we get a word from God and he's told us to do something, then we just need to do it. We just need to be obedient and do it. Why? Because there's reward in obedience. There's reward in persevering and moving and fighting the obstacles that we encounter despite how hard it gets. Now, there may be times when we share our vision with others and they don't support it, or they don't think that it's possible. So then we start to think, okay, well, maybe they're right. Maybe he didn't tell me to do it this way. And the thing about God is, when he tells us to do something, he knows that it's possible. Otherwise, he wouldn't tell us to do it. But we have to dig our heels in and stick with it and persevere, and to continue to walk the path that he's given us. Yes, it'll get hard. Yes, we'll meet obstacles, but we have to remember that he's with us. He's not going to tell us to do something and then leave us. He's not going to bring us so far and say, okay, well, you're on your own. He's in it with us every step of the way, ladies. So let's remember that. And the other thing that we have to remember is, when God gives us a vision, he didn't say, okay, well, your mama and them, they're going to go with you. They're going to believe, everything that God has given you, and they're going to support you every step of the way. That's not what he tells us. We even see when Jesus went up on the mountain, he didn't take all of the disciples with him. He only took three: Peter, James, and John. And I believe that that is given to us as an example, to show us that not everyone is going to be able to go where we go, as he continues to elevate us and he continues to give us the victories, the dreams, take us on the path that he has for us. There will be people who will fall to the side because they were never meant to go with us. They can't handle what he's going to do in your life. And we have to be okay with that, because our circle, the higher up we go, is going to get smaller. And there will only be a few select who will be able to stick it out with us through good and bad, up and down. They'll be with us when we have nothing. They'll be with us when we have everything. So we have to remember that as well. And don't get sad when people fall off, because they're just not meant to go with us. The other thing is that we have to remember that, yes, 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 it's gonna get hard. But we have to remember that when it gets hard and when it gets tough and we get weak and we want to give up, all we have to do is go to our Father, tell him, look, God, I need you in this. I can't do this on my own. We haven't The thing about we have to remember is, he hasn't given up on us. He hasn't left us. He said that he will always be with us. He will never leave or forsake us. So in everything that he's called us to do, he's going to be there with us. We just have to remember that, tap into that strength, and keep moving, ladies. Now, I also wanted to tell you that every day that we're here above ground, we have to be thankful for. We have to rejoice in each day. Every day may not be or include everything that we want to do, everything that we think we should have, but we have to remember that we rejoice anyway. This is the day that God has made, so let us be glad and rejoice in it. I wanted to give you that quick thought, ladies, and to remind you that there is a queen inside you. No matter what anyone else says, that queen exists inside you, and you just have to embrace her and allow her to shine. Have a blessed Sunday, ladies, whether you're spending time with family, worshiping today with your church family, or just resting for today to prepare for next week. Enjoy your day and be blessed. Love you, ladies.